All right, what's going on, brothers? Hopefully everything's going good. Hopefully everything's going well for you guys. All right, brothers. So this is part two. Let me try to give a little more in-depth analysis of this, of my suspicions. All right, brothers. As I said before, Tamera looks for Adam for leadership. He comes for money. I think that played a major role. She looks at him as a leader, somebody she follows and respects. She listened to. Cory, I guarantee you, Tia was always questioning him and undermining him. She didn't trust his leadership because she brought home the bacon. You understand what I'm saying? She brought home the bacon. But Cory, just like most so-called black men, he's gonna have to work twice as hard to get what another race man gets, you know, on average, I would say, you know, in general. Let's just say that you would have to work twice as hard to get the same results he gets, and he don't work twice as hard. You're gonna have to prove yourself more often for you to get, okay, he's a leader, I can follow him. You could be like, well, that's the racial context of it, which I would agree, but I'm not gonna go in depth on that. Let's leave it alone. So now you have that dynamic, right? So now let me get to this. This is why, not saying this is the reason, but this is a good reason why I stand by that. I think all so-called black men should not take a woman seriously who makes more money than them. I don't think you should. I don't think you should. You know, I guarantee you, brothers, Cory went through a lot. You might be like, oh, Tia, she's nice. She got, don't let that fool you, man. She got a nice disposition, but I'm telling you, boy, she reminds me of one of my ex-girlfriends. I'm telling you, I bet you behind closed doors, I bet you Cory will tell you like, yo, man, she could be a handful. You know, she's a nagger. She's like 1,000 bees that sting you. You know, she ain't like what you guys would call the girls from Atlanta, Chicago, or, you know, Compton, you know. She ain't gonna come and just, I'll bite you like a pit bull. You know, she'll sting you with 1,000 bees. You know, still painful, but just a different type of pain, right? So, anyway, but so that's why, you know, I mean, with that being in mind, I think you better shouldn't. Now, I'm not saying you can't hook up and have fun with them, of course. Now, if they put you in a position of dominance, which I've seen in Celebrity Time and Real Time, Celebrity Time would be what Mary J. Blige did with her husband. She put him in a position of dominance. He managed to finance her career. So she put him in a position of dominance. Right? But how many women are going to do that? Not many. Now, in Real Time, I remember I've seen quite a few cases Real Time where the woman would work, but she would give her husband the money. Or the man, she would give him the money, he would manage the finances. Now, I've seen it the other way too. And you know what I noticed with the other way, when the men would do it and give their wives the checks and go out and just get their wives the check after they work. I'm just saying, 100%, all the girls I saw who did that, even the old to the young, said they did not like it. 100% of the time. I bullish you not. From my elders I talked to, they said they did not like that. They did not like that because they wanted the man to be the leader, to take charge. They didn't want to be worried about all paying the bills and doing that. They didn't want that. I'm just telling you what they told me. But anyway, so now you could be like, well, what about Cory Hardrict? You're like, well, Cory Hardrict got kids with her. So is that a mistake? I'm not saying his kids are a mistake, but what I'm telling you is that you think Cory Hardrict, any man worth his salt, want to marry a woman just to divorce her, have kids with her just to divorce her? 12, 13 years later, I guarantee you they're going to say no. They're going to say no. Cory Hardrict and Tia's relationship was doomed to fail. It was doomed. Now, I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did, tell you the truth. It was doomed to fail. And Cory just now becoming his own man within the last 7, 8, 10 years or something, whatever. And I think that's another thing that played a role to their demise, the more successful he became. I think that frustrated her too. Like, damn, you know, the more successful he became. Because she viewed him as somebody excited, a boy toy. That's how she viewed him, in my opinion. And he would start becoming more and more of a man. he started becoming more and more like Adam. You know, not saying he was imitating Adam's ways, but he was just becoming a man, maturing. You know what I'm saying? Striving to be his own man, which I think that's something he always had in him anyway. Why? Because look at his track record. He was always trying to go out there and get it. It wasn't like he was just sitting down chilling. He was always out there trying to make it. So that's something he wanted to do anyway. His actions prove it. Right? So anyway, brothers, that's it, man. Shout out to Cory Hardrict for, you know, becoming his own man. And also, I'm gonna say this, brothers, I don't think they will get back together. And if they do, I don't think it's gonna last, because I think what Cory's gonna realize, if he hasn't realized already, is that Tia's not gonna change, and it's just gonna be the same old nonsense as before. And he don't want to deal with that. You can tell he don't want to deal with that. And I think the reason he don't want to deal with her is because Tia is what you guys would call a gaslighter. You know, she do things and say you're doing it. She shoots shots, but if you shoot back, she plays victim. You know, the typical stuff people talk about on the social media. And you can tell by her personality, things she do. Also, brothers, when I saw them on that red carpet event, you could tell how they interacted, that Cory do not want nothing to do with Tia. He don't want nothing to do with her. I think Cory is done with her. And I think it's pissing him off. You know, like if it vexes his soul, not saying he's like, oh, you know, she's going on TV playing all these victim roles. You know what I'm saying? Or playing victim, you know, talking out, you know, the stuff she's doing. I think that frustrates him. As well as it should. Like, yo, because I know in my opinion, I think he thinks a lot of stuff she's saying is a lie. And I think it is. I think she's over-exaggerating. She's turning a mole into a mountain. She's doing those type of things. But anyway, that's it. Now, I'm not going to say they wouldn't hook up and have sex here and there. You know, of course, they probably doing it. You know, that's I'm not saying that's, you know, that's kind of something. I'm not saying it's normal, but that's something you see a lot, you know. I mean, every couple I've seen, whether they got divorced or not, I'll say 90% of the time I've seen them hook back up for sex. You know what I mean? Hook back up. You brothers have seen it. I've seen couples get divorced and link back up and have sex for a couple of weeks or a couple of months and go back their own ways. You know how it go. So anyway, brother, that's it. So I think that's why Tia's divorced and why TAMERA's still married. You know, I think the money played a major catalyst. You know, being that Adam already had money, Tia looked at him as somebody she can look up to. I wouldn't be surprised if Adam got more money than TAMERA, personally, because he comes from money. So I think he probably has more money than her, but it was somebody she looked at as somebody she would respect, listen to, respect, and follow. You know, she listened to him, she followed him. She listened to him, she respect him, and she followed him. You know, the three main components. Tia didn't. She looked at him as she looked at Cory as somebody exciting and frustrating. You know what I mean? Frustrating because she couldn't control him and he wouldn't go for her nonsense. But at the same time, that excited her that excited her even more about him. You know, it's that weird conundrum. Like, wow, he's not gonna take my crap. I think that turned her on too, as well as frustrated her. And soon enough, it's like, okay, it's exciting. I gotta catch this. I gotta do this. But sooner or later, you can't get it. You be like, man, forget it. You know, yeah, it was exciting, but I'm not gonna get it my way. So I'm done. You know, it could be like that. But anyway, brother, that's it, man. I'm out, man. What you better think? I'm out. Peace.